Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
BixWeir.com. Got some good news and bad news for you. Bad news is clearly JP Morgan has done an admirable job since getting back into the rigging market of silver. As you can tell, silver slammed again for no apparent reason. Well, the apparent reason is keeping it under the 50, 100, and 200-day moving averages. As you can see, it's getting destroyed right here. Most likely tomorrow, when they cut off the reporting date, you'll see silver start to bump up again. Again, mind you, this is JP Morgan we're talking about, the number one price rigger for silver since they took it over from Bear Stearns, who took it over from, who was it? Drexel. It went Drexel, Burnham, then to AIG, then to Bear Stearns. Might have been another one in there. Then to JP Morgan, then to Bank of America. Now it's back to JP Morgan as the lead rigger. I'm not so sure Bank of America knew how to rig. I think that was more a situation where they were leasing metal from JP Morgan in a structured deal. I don't think they got paid back. JP Morgan got paid back the metal. I don't know. They clearly have full control of the derivative market. And the derivative market is all that matters in any exchange. That's where the price is set. I don't care if it's the stock market, the bond market, the foreign exchange market, the largest market in the world, the oil markets. You know, they take oil, the largest commodity bought and sold in the world, and they set it to minus $40 with a click of a mouse. That's how much power these assholes have. If you didn't see, by the way, the CFTC slapped the hand of JP Morgan once again for committing more crimes. CFTC orders 3 financial institutions to pay over $50 million for swap reporting failures and other violations. When is enough enough? You know, when is enough enough when it comes to JP Morgan and breaking the law? JP Morgan Chase violated swap reporting. The order imposes a $15 million civil penalty. They don't care about money. Money's not of no bother to these banking criminals. They do care about going to jail. The CFTC can't put them in jail. I'll give you that. All they can do is say, hey, you're a bad boy. That's not all they can do. They can take away their commodity trading licenses. There you go. The CFTC is allowing the number one bank criminal, JP Morgan, to rig the market as much as they want. They have 5 felony counts against this bank. And still they allow them to trade in the commodity markets. After being multiple times chastised and admitted guilt, how much does it take? And if they're too big to remove JP Morgan from the commodity markets, what does that tell you about the concentration of these big players? If JP Morgan, I'm talking to you, CFTC, if JP Morgan is too big to remove as the massive major player holding the most silver in the world, being the trustee, the custodian of the metal for the largest silver ETF in the world, SLV, holding the largest inventories out of anybody, and they're 5 admitted felony offenses. If they're too big to remove, what does that tell you about the silver market? I mean, if you look at the derivative, the OCC derivatives, Office of Comptroller and Currencies keeps track of OTC derivatives, over-the-counter derivatives, not COMEX. These are side deals. Between JP Morgan, Citibank, and Bank of America, they own 97.5% of all the derivatives in silver. 97 point. How is that not an illegal concentration of power? By the way, JP Morgan has half of that. Bank of America and Citibank have the other half, pretty much. How is that not illegal? How is that not what Ted Butler's been screaming about? It's the concentration issue. How they collude through concentration. And if you can't remove JP Morgan from the silver game, If you can't take away all their license to trade silver without destroying the markets, what does that tell you about the power of JP Morgan over the silver market? It's ridiculous. Anyway, let's take a look. Again, JP Morgan's trying to keep it under. They're slamming it down. These are naked shorts, by the way, in case you were wondering. They'll hit a point where it's like, okay, game over, and then it's going to run. Now they have to report on, so they're going to run this probably till Tuesday because Wednesday is the new reporting week. They want the lowest price of silver possible by Tuesday, and then Wednesday it might run up. I don't know. Again, they can click the mouse and put silver at $0. Really interesting, though, that Wednesday is the Tuesday night's the cutoff, as Wednesday's a big day in the conspiracy people. October 4th, that's the day the world ends. Another day the world ends. Hey, don't get me wrong. I love all my conspiracy friends. I'm one of them. Many times I've called a date. And then I always forget, oh my God, they can click a mouse and set the price to minus $40. How can we predict when this shit's going to fall apart when they can click a mouse and set it to minus $40? I want to play you something here. Now, I'm going to get to some really exciting news about the U.S. Mint turning the corner. And I did talk to my guy over there. So I'll get to that in 1 second. But first, I'm going to play you this from 2000. This is probably about 2020. About the U.S., the head of the CFTC at the time, Chris Giancarlo, admitting that the U.S. government colludes to, in this case, it was the crypto prices, to destroy the crypto prices. But he admitted that they use derivatives to do that. Otherwise, the price just keeps going up. Listen to my take back then.
We are here. The in-game smash is upon us. We knew it was coming. It is here.
At the time, they had smashed Bitcoin from I don't know, I think it was $25,000 down to $7,000 or down to $3,000. So anyway, check out what they admitted though.
Huge smashing of computers and derivatives. Click, 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 click. Remember, they can put the price to 0 to 1,000 for Bitcoin. They can put it anywhere they want. Anywhere they want. This is the final smash, though. This is the thing that we hodl for.
It wasn't the final smash, but if you hodled while Bitcoin was 7,000, you're probably doing very well.
This is why we hang on tight. Hang on. It's going to get really ugly out there and really crazy. And I want to show you something that'll blow your mind. Here it is. Trump administration popped 2017 Bitcoin bubble, ex-CFTC chairman says. Chris Giancarlo, I've talked a lot about him in the past. It is happening. It is absolutely happening. The kimono is opening. Here's what's really going on. The Trump administration acted to deflate the Bitcoin bubble of 2017 by allowing the introduction of future products, a former official says Monday. That's not all they did. That's just one of the things they did. Chris Giancarlo, who left the CFTC at the end of his 5-year term as chairman in April, told CoinDesk in an interview, quote, "One of the untold stories of the past few years is that the CFTC, the Treasury, the SEC, and the National Economic Council director at the time, Gary Cohen, believed that the launch of Bitcoin futures would have the impact of popping the Bitcoin bubble, and it worked. Planned, executed, done. That's not all they did. They worked with the Bitcoin trustee, the Mt. Gox trustee, to sell Bitcoin into the market as well. In a speech at the Pantera Summit in San Francisco on Monday, Giancarlo elaborated further, saying Bitcoin's dramatic price run-up in December 2017 was the first major bubble following the 2008 financial crisis. That's why the Trump administration acted in concert to address it in a pro-markets manner. What's pro-markets about a government institution coming in and purposefully popping any bubble at all? Maybe Bitcoin was just massively undervalued compared to the amount of fiat money he was creating.
There you go. It's amazing. This is 3 years ago, and the first Bitcoin, not the first, the big Bitcoin pop of 2017. I knew it was all about. I've known for years that it's been all about derivatives, but they need other things going on. This isn't, you got the head of the SEC, the president of the United States, the head of the CFTC. This is called the working group, the head of the National Economic Council, everybody, head of the Fed, everybody on board to rig prices in Bitcoin because it was going too high. Christian Carlos said in that discussion, he said, and I quote, "We had to stop the Bitcoin from going up because it would, unless we introduced derivatives, it would have just kept going up." All that means is it's undervalued compared to the unbacked fiat monetary system, the US dollar. Everybody forgets that that's what these things, it's all this market manipulation, all the cover-ups that are done in the US. The reason JP Morgan is allowed to rig the market and cover it up is because of the weakness of the fragility of the unbacked fiat monetary system. That's the reason. And everything is priced in unbacked fiat money. There shouldn't be 2.5 quadrillion in derivatives. If money was really valuable, there wouldn't be. If money was something real, something valuable, nobody would risk it in these crazy markets. Why would you? You have money. You have a valuable thing. But because everybody gets free money these days, well, interest rates are up, so now the free money game is stopping, and the banks can't handle it. They're all underwater. All their investments have been destroyed. Every tick up of a treasury bill makes the older treasuries that pay out less valuable. You better hold the maturity or you're screwed. And if you hold the maturity, you have the risk of, one, higher interest rates, and number two, the system crashing before you get anything out. Get your shit out. This is in-game stuff. Anyway, big news at the U.S. Mint. Big news at the U.S. Mint. If you guys have listened to my discussion with Jack Sherman, the head of Silver Eagle Sales, go to roadtoroot.com. I think it's still right at the front page on the public road. Let's take a look and make sure it's still there. There it is. Part 1, 2, and 3 right there. The Silver Eagle conspiracy. I had a long conversation with the head of Silver Eagle Sales. And yeah, he admitted a lot of things. But I just contacted him again and he got back to me because I saw the improvement. I contacted him in May, and all of a sudden they started making more and more Silver Eagles. The premiums are coming down. Everything was getting back into order. And then September hit, and all of September, they cut it in half again. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Livid. I sent him a text, and I said, dude, what is happening? I thought you guys were on the comeback. I thought you got more silver blanks because Ventures Gibson was feeling bad. Do we have to mobilize again and come after the Mint to do their job? Create Silver Eagles to meet demand. He got back to me pretty quickly. He said, no, Bix, those numbers are wrong. I said, well, the numbers are wrong. Why are they wrong? He goes, that's not my department. Let me go check. And dun-dun-dun, see right here, it says 15. Dun-dun-dun. Look at that. Goes to 15 to 29. It doubled. Yes, it was a clerical error. I don't know if it was or it wasn't. But some of the things that he did tell me. He says that we got even more blanks in. He said Ventures Gibson is working real hard. She has seen the evil in her ways. He didn't say that. I say that. She has seen that the U.S. Mint used to be the most respected mint in the world, and now they are going to make Silver Eagles to meet demand, but they haven't yet, and they still are not. They're still on allocation, which I have a different problem with, but hey, constant improvement is better. He says we got enough to do 25 million ounces, which means they're going to do between now and December when they cut off for their vacation. For changing out the years, they still have to do 7 million more, which is a huge number for the Mint. And it means that they're literally trying, at least trying. It isn't reality. They can make more than 3 million coins per month, Ventress. I get that it's better than your shitty job before, but it's not good enough. Good enough is following the law and making coins to meet demand. But he said we're going to get about 25 million coins this year. Of course, the monkey mind in me says, why are you setting the price of coins? Why aren't you out in the market? If you got 25 million, you got enough to make 25 million in the warehouse today, why have you stopped buying silver blanks? Do not stop. It's illegal to stop. You are required by law to buy as many silver blanks to meet demand. Allocation should be completely wiped off the map today, instantly. It is illegal to allocate silver eagles unless you are fully meeting demand. It is illegal. So, Ventress, good job. I mean, Jack really pointed out he wanted to say Ventress made the call. And I'm like, what do you mean made the call? I'm not going to get on Jack's ass. He's a good guy. He's been at that position for 30 years. He's the most senior guy at the Mint, I believe. Well, maybe not. He's like I think he's in his 70s or approaching his 70s. I think he's in his 70s. And they just can't find someone to take his place because he has all the connections. Because he's such a great guy. And he loves it. They only have him and two other guys doing the sales. Because you're not selling to a lot of people. You're selling to the authorized participants. And all the authorized participants are saying, I want more. I don't want to be allocated silver eagles. I got customers who would buy up as many as you can make. So I'll tip my hat. Jack wants, I know, I could tell from his text, he wants me to tip my hat to Ventress Gibson because that was her doing. But I would like to send this little message to Ventress. You're still not meeting the law. You're doing better than you were doing, making $900,000 a month. But that's an allocated number. The whole reason that stipulation was put into law that you have to meet demand was for the very reason we're going through right now. The rest of the world is soaking up all the silver, and U.S. customers are getting screwed. We are still going to be behind the silver maple leafs made by Canada. Do something for the good of the country. Make more. Why aren't you buying silver eagles today? The silver blanks today at any price. That's the law. You should be paying $100 an ounce for silver. That's the law. You have to pay as much as possible. It doesn't matter how much you pay. The law says you meet demand because it's all pass-through costs. Whatever you buy the silver for, which is you buy it on the COMEX, you can get as much silver as you want. And then they got to turn it into the planchettes. Now, you can claim conspiracy at the Sunshine Mint or at the Perth Mint. And Jack said they get it from a few different places. And, oh, by the way, how long have we been on allocation? How long has the U.S. Mint wanted to keep silver out of the hands of we the people? It's been a long time. And you can't figure out a better way to do it, and you have to lie to people of interest? What do I mean by lie? Read your annual report where you're saying you greatly expanded Silver Eagle production. Well, we can't see it. We the people can't see anything. I'm grateful that you fixed this. Again, look at this. So this is about an hour ago. In September, they only had 1.5 million Silver Eagles made. Talk to Jack. He said, that's not right. That's a typo. Let me go fix it. There you go. All of a sudden up to almost 3 million coins made. And the first week. Again, here's another problem. Sales totals by month are updated every weekday. Sales totals are updated every weekday by 5 p.m. That's not true. I recommended, either report it every weekday or change this wording. Change it to like every week by 5 o'clock or something like that. But don't say, we're not going to report at all, because we need to know this. We need to know what the sales are. Otherwise, there's no accountability. And because people weren't screaming at the Mint about the U.S. Eagle accountability, other than everybody trying to buy them, and they're ended up paying double. Almost double. What were they? The premiums were 80, 90%. All because of the Mint not doing their job. And now, from what Jack says, they're trying. Well, if they really were trying, go out and go tell Sunshine Mint, I want all the blanks you can give me. And they'll say, well, I can't. We got other customers. And then you say, hey, I'm the U.S. Mint. We are required by law to pay whatever it takes. I will bid higher than any of those customers. Or go to the customers and say, hey, Perth Mint, let me buy your blanks. I'll pay higher to get those blanks. It's just the insanity. They're getting better, all right? But there's no reason. I was just listening to the new Elon Musk book. It was written by a lefty, which kind of lefty, but it was an amazing account of what that guy does when he works in a business. There's no wokeness allowed anywhere near Elon Musk. Read the book. He'll go in. He scrubs 75% of Twitter employees, and it's better than ever. 75% of the employees weren't needed. It was all bullshit. And I loved one part where they're trying to switch out some kind of data storage facility from Sacramento, California, and putting it up in like Washington or something like that. And the people, who were working for Twitter said, yeah, we can do that. It'll take 6 months, because they're paying massive amount, $10 million a year or month or something like that. He said, why? And they said, it's going to take 6 months to do. He's like, why would it take 6 months? So we own all the hard drives there, the storage hard drives and all that. Well, there's 5,500 of them, and each one has to be properly deinstalled and blah, blah, blah. And it's going to take 6 months. Musk jumps up, says, this is bullshit. He drives over or flies to Sacramento, gets out with like 2 of his guys, and they start literally cutting the cables and towing. They rented a U-Haul, and they putting them in the back and moving them up. And in, I think it was 3 days, they did them all. Now, they weren't perfect. He said it was probably kind of rash. But from 6 months to 3 days, you got to cut through the red tape. It is so easy to do when you have that kind of work ethic. And they don't have that anymore in America, especially in these woke places, especially with Ventress Gibson. I mean, I know Jack wants to give her the kudos, which is fine, but getting this shit done is so much more important than your HR responsibilities at the Mint. You're not in charge of HR at the Mint anymore. You're in charge of HR in your past profession. Now you're running a business, and the business is not to make money. That's the U.S. government. I know the Mint makes money. It's illegal to make money on the Silver Eagles. It's written in the law. You're going to sell the Silver Eagle for cost. And it used to be the lawyers at the U.S. Mint would strictly tell Jack, you can't charge a premium because it's illegal to charge premiums on the Bullion Silver Eagle program. It's written in the law. And there's very specific reasons for that. You can charge all those, double, triple premiums all you want in the other programs, but not the Bullion Silver Eagle program. It's written in the law. So, Ventress, what I'm getting at is take the Elon Musk attitude. I know you wouldn't want to hear that if you're watching this. The time of wokeness is over. The time of not doing 100% your best, the best you can give, is over. We could probably take 90% of the employees of the U.S. government and get rid of those jobs, and we would barely notice any difference. That's what I learned from reading the Elon Musk book. Yeah, he's a nut, and he's crazy, and he's absolutely has no empathy for human beings or anybody. But he also knows how to efficiently run a business and cut through the bureaucratic bullshit. It shouldn't take any time to make Silver Eagles according to the law. You should be out there buying Silver Eagles from everybody. Because your job is to do that, to make enough Silver Eagles to meet demand. That means no allocation at all. Allocation meaning, we have just so many, so you get this much. No. When the authorized participants call Jack Sherman and say, hey, I want to buy some Silver Eagles, Jack should say, how many you want? As many as you want, I'll get you. Boom, make it happen. Maybe you might have to work overtime. With Elon Musk, he like sleeps in the office. Do I think everybody should be a Musk? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And he'd be the first one to say everyone should not be like me. But if you want to run a business efficiently, you need a little Muskism at the U.S. Mint. You need to chop down everything that doesn't work. And right now, what doesn't work is the U.S. Mint Purchasing Department of blanks. That's it. They should have made them in-house. I mean, I get they're buying the COMEX bars at almost free because COMEX's money is a joke, and then they're sending them to Sunshine Mint to make the blanks. Sunshine Mint, they're a business. It's a private business. They're gonna sell their coins to the highest bidder, and the U.S. government is the only entity in the world who's required by law to bid the most. Anyway, so yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm very happy that the numbers, they just forgot to put them up. Whose job is that? Fire that person. That's what Musk would say. You got one job, stick up the numbers. Fire that person. And oh, by the way, keep making. Don't say, oh, Bix, we're going to do 25 million by the end of the year. That means your purchasing department has stopped buying blanks. They should be in a frenzy, staying up day and night trying to track down blanks for the U.S. Mint to live up to the obligation for the U.S. people, for the law, for we the people. You are destroying the wealth of the United States by not making silver eagles to meet demand. I'm not even going to get into the hedge book, but that's where we are. I know I'm going off, but it's important. Oh, by the way, you guys remember this letter sent to Janet Yellen from Alex Mooney, the representative from West Virginia, saying, hey, what the hell's the deal with the Mint program? This was August 25th, 2022. It's been over a year, and I'm not sure. I've never seen it. I haven't seen a response from Janet Yellen. This is literally, let's see what he said. He went through a lot of the shit that I've been screaming about. For example, provide the questions to, does the Secretary believe the Silver Eagle coin is being produced in quantities and qualities that meet demand? Number 2, why is it only single supplier currently allowed or willing to provide the Mint with silver blanks on the Silver Eagle program? 2 great questions, which I have screamed about. 3, given a statutory mandate to supply these coins to the public, why doesn't the Mint have a policy to build a reserve of silver blanks during periods of slower demand in order to create a buffer for periods of higher demand? Now, there might be an argument on that one. And that argument would be if silver blanks lie around for too long, they start to get little pockmarks on them. You don't have to have them lying around. You can create the coins and seal them up in those in the tubes, the green caps. But that's that you should be stockpiling Silver Eagles, yeah. And then you don't have to, just because they stop in December, which is an insane thing. And then the argument is we're stopping in December to make the changeover. So we need to have supplies ready on January 1st for the next year. You don't. That's like ridiculous. Make as many as you can and don't sell the new ones until you sell out of the old ones. There you go. Just because car manufacturers do it all the time, right? They always sell like the year prior. I can go buy a 2024 car right now. Why not start earlier and say, hey, but you can get a 2024 Silver Eagle before 2024. It's not rocket science. And I don't beg. Read the Elon Musk book about how he runs a business and then apply that to the U.S. government, and you will see something just phenomenal. Phenomenal. I think that's why Musk is making all these, getting into robots now. There's so many people within the U.S. government. You can just replace instantly. One robot can do the work of 20 people. That's coming, And then Musk is talking about universal basic income because all the AI is going to take the place of the workers. And that's true. But do you really need universal basic income if you have like replicators, for example. A replicator it's kind of like 3D printing, but on a much more advanced level. I think we'll have them by like 2050 is my guess. And there's no need for money. I want a cheeseburger. Type it into your replicator. Poof, there's your cheeseburger. It takes energy, makes atoms. The atoms put together into molecules into the form of a cheeseburger. And if you think that's picture crazy, that can never happen. Ha! You could 3D print a house right now. 10 years ago, they said, that'll never happen. Remember, 50 years ago, it was like 100 years ago, we were horse and buggy. Maybe 120 years ago. Horse and buggy. So in 100 years ago, 100 years from now, they're going to look back and laugh. How were these people so short-sighted as to not understand where technology is taking us? And we can make it a better future or a worse future. Right now, let's work on getting rid of the criminals in government and in banking and in the healthcare. Jesus. Let's get rid of the criminals everywhere. Anyway, let's keep going. Off subject. This is going to be a long one. Settle in. By the way, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Subscribe to roadtoroota.com. Go to roadtoroota.com and first listen to the Jack Sermon interviews. But hit subscribe today. I'll be giving out, we're currently giving out one Veritasium token. If you don't know what Veritasium is, Reggie Middleton invented it as a way to have peer-to-peer transactions without a stock market, without all the middlemen, your Schwab account, and all that crap that they steal money from you. No more high-frequency trading. Brilliant maneuver, and he was taken out by the SEC in the most brutal way possible, beyond any other crypto thing. And he was working with the SEC. All those SEC guys, come in and work with us. Don't you dare do that. Ask Reggie Middleton what happens when you go work with the government on a new technology that would change the world. Now, this is still pending. There's 98 million tokens that are frozen by the U.S. government. There's 2 million tokens trading. Reggie does not need the token to profit off his patents. So I don't know if this token will be worth anything. But I think it will. Cliff's dad had it going higher than Bitcoin. And I think Bitcoin's going to go nuts when the manipulation stops. Oh, by the way, I'm just going to keep rambling today. This might be a 3-hour discussion. I don't know. No, it won't be 3 hours. But back to Chris Giancarlo. This was the 2017 bubble that the U.S. government popped. That he admitted, yeah, we did it. Do not for a second think that the U.S. government, that's the only bubble they popped. That's the only time they intervened in a market. No. They intervene every day in every market with the computers and computer trading programs invented by Alan Greenspan back in the 60s and 70s. Yep, Alan Greenspan, same guy. World's biggest gold bug before he became head of the Fed. When he became head of the Fed, they called him bubbles because he's inflating every bubble. And that was the idea. Expand everything. Just print as much money as possible, soaking up all the benefits, and then blow the bubble. And that's where we're coming to, the time when they blow the bubble. I don't know if Greenspan will actually be alive by the time the bubble's blown. He's like 80, 93 or 94 or something. I'm sure he'd like to see, the whole thing go down before he moves on. Yeah, you always want to see your life work come to fruition before you move on to the next life, in my opinion. One of the things, I know this is rambling. Go back to why I moved back to this. Not only was the 2017 Bitcoin bubble popped by the introduction of derivatives into the Bitcoin market and all crypto market, the other bubble, the bubble that just popped when we got up to $60,000 and all that, that was popped because Gary Gensler, the head of the CFTC, sat down with the same people. They sit down with the president. They sit down with the head of the Fed and the Treasury, and they say, okay, here's the plan to pop the next bubble. And it was, let's get everybody into NFTs and decentralized finance. And most people will get in and have no idea what they're doing. Oh, I can make 200 times return if I take my coin and put it in this group where they lend out coins and, oh, it's great. You give it to FTX and all that shit. They did it on purpose. They got you. I screamed at Litecoin Lisa when she was talking with Johnny Litecoin, and they're talking about this. I forgot the name of the coin, but it's one of those DeFi coins where you just put your coin here and you make all this extra coinage. And Bix, you don't understand what's going on here. And I'm like, this is a Ponzi. This is a huge Ponzi. Get the hell out. You're going to lose everything. Ask Lisa what happened. They lost everything. I mean, it was being condoned by the CFTC. Half the CFTC was working for FTX. Why don't they talk about that? Where are the prosecutions there? Wetchin, that guy Wetchin. One of this, the whole thing is corrupt. As we all know. Anyway, so yeah, and then they pop that, and here we are at the bottom of a Bitcoin market again. Great time to buy all kinds of cryptos. The good ones, some won't come back, just like we saw in 2017. The good ones will. I think that my number one pick overall is Theta. And Theta Fuel, the whole Theta world is the future of Web 3.0. If you think we're moving into Web 3.0, you better get your ass in the Theta market. Get as many Theta as you can. And Theta Fuel, I think it'll just be so massive for various reasons. Amazon can make a blockchain, create a coin on the Theta blockchain. It will be the Amazon chain. But all the approvals will happen through the Theta protocol, which is amazing, fast, and cheap. So lots of shit like that. All right. Want to talk about one more thing. This schmo crypto prodigy to blame lawyers in the fraud trial of the century. I would like to start by formally stating under oath, I fucked up, wrote Sam Bankman-Fried days after the implosion of FTX, $36 billion crypto exchange he founded. That was all part of it. Blow that bubble, get the idiots like Sam Bankman-Fried. By the way, this guy had nothing to do with it. It was his parents and the parents of the Ellison, Caroline Ellison, and him. If you read the story, you'll just throw up. But yeah, the parents of Sam Bankman-Fried are two leftist Stanford election riggers. If you really want to know who the election riggers are, they help funnel money through the Ukraine into the Joe Biden and the Democrat campaign, and it was Trump probably taking down the Trump people, taking down Sam Bankman-Fried and all the criminal elements behind the scenes that used dirty money to rig our elections. I remember hearing a podcast from Sam Bankman-Fried's dad back, and he's a lawyer at Stanford. So, oh my God, lawyer at Stanford. Talking about ways they can get rid of Trump through the legal system, and just the whole thing is ridiculous. I'm like, these guys got to go down, so they're going to take down the kid first, and then the parents. And then Caroline Ellison's father was Gary Gensler's boss at MIT. Just the tangled web of corruption is shocking. It's shocking, I tell you. Anyway, so that's what I got. Lots going on. Again, JP Morgan is doing what they always do, slamming silver and controlling the price. Interesting because just Friday they got nailed for cheating, lying, and stealing again. A little tap on the wrist. The big news is the U.S. Mint fixed their website. And Jack said they're going to do 25 million coins this year. They should do obviously more. If they say they have 25 million, they should do a minimum of 25 million. But we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. I threw a lot more questions at him, and I don't know if he's, clearly he got in a little trouble probably from talking the last time. Especially, I was blaming Ventris Gibson a lot. He never laid the blame on Ventris Gibson. He said management. But it sounds like, he got a little hand slap. But who knows? The world's crazy. Again, you want to join the Road to Ruda. You want to get free updates, put your name and email address, roadtoruda.com. And if you want to get all the good stuff, join our yearly subscription. Oh, by the way, I talked to Jenny about this. She pulled a couple quick cards and says this will end very soon. So the slamming in silver is going to end very soon. Go out and get your Silver Eagles while the premiums are low. Who knows what the future hasn't hold for U.S. mint coinage. I'm real excited about that. All right, this is Bix. I'll talk to you later.
Well, here's a true story about a man just like you. He worked his whole life, he was honest and true. Built up a nest egg the way they said to. Invest in the market, money works for you. And everything is fine, picking the winners every time. Started to believe he can make dollars out of dime. Little did he know he's being primed for a fall. The riggers let you play, then the riggers steal the ball. We want free markets, not a million phantom trades. Lest everyone's honest, we're gonna lose what we made. Got to shut down exchanges, trade one for one. We want free markets, well, our work's just begun. Free markets are the road to freedom. Capitalism, not as bad as they say. The world has never tried it, rigging markets every day. Socialists fail every time in every way. Need a better system to forge a better day. We want free markets, not a million phantom trades. Lest everyone's honest, we're gonna lose what we made. We gotta shut down exchanges till they trade one for one. We want free markets, our work's just begun. Free markets are the road to freedom. I said free markets are the road to freedom. Crypto solution, if only done right. We can take out the liars, bring dark into light, and trust in the math, not the people who lie. I think we can make it if we give it a try. We want free markets, not a million phantom trades. Lest everyone's honest, we're gonna lose what we made. We gotta shut down exchanges till they trade one for one. We want free markets, our work's just begun. 'Cause free markets are the road to freedom. I said free markets are the road to freedom. Free markets are the road to freedom.